are these people?
Hi, everybody. I was just telling
Hi, everybody.
Substack and how I thought that Substack might be a good vehicle to put more of your stuff. Just the other day at indienews.substack.com, I did put Conviction, Winter, and Belmarsh as a printed piece because I thought that would be really cool for people at Substack that had never seen that before, considering it had just been World Press Freedom Day and I had just listened to it. And
you know, that's one thing I've not tried, and I've kind of thought about, like, because for some people I think my stuff is a little too commentary and not maybe music enough, you know. Like maybe it would register better for people if it was just read this. It happens to rhyme, but here's, you know, here's the same political opinion I would do in an article that didn't rhyme.
right.
But I've never tried that before, so I'd like to try. I'd like to take a few things that are especially long like that, like something like the Co-opt, and put all 17 minutes of that in a fucking Substack article.
Well, we can certainly do that, but you know, I'd love to see jessejett.substack.com get started, and we got Misty going.
Yeah.
So right now, Misty we've been putting up her daily guess whoever she's going to have on the radio show that night. I help her kind of gather links and put that out and then afterwards I go back and I edit the post so that it actually has a link to listen to that hour with that guest, both on Spotify or directly on the TNT radio, which is really cool.
Nice. Yeah.
I love having a platform to be able to do that because tons of times, you know, people don't know where to find that stuff and it's all mixed in. Yep. It's just one place to go and find it all. All right. Hydrated.
So I got 3 pieces left here. And first one is gonna be off of and then the Sky Slam shut. We're doing Supersite.
Okay. I can find that pretty quickly. Supersite, Children of the Fuselage. Go.
Which I think we are just shy of 10K on the original video of this that we put up.
Solid.
Which is pretty awesome. Never got that Brockovich bump. I thought for sure we'd get her, but
he went to
you know what's fun?
Douche, but that's another story.
When you do music like this or spoken word like this, a really fun thing you can tell yourself when something doesn't get the traction you were hoping for or someone ignores it. You can always be like, oh, it's just a little too dangerous for them. Guess I'm just too much of a bad boy for this platform. It's a really fun way to convince yourself that like you're just a little too extreme. That's your problem, is you're just too much of a truth teller.
Well, for a girl that gets invited on The View, I think that's kind of accurate. She was literally on The View 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks. You're helping build me up here, Andy.
I give credence to that. That actually does kind of.
You can Goodwill Hunting me if you say
out.
It's not your fault like 5 or 6 times. I'll just break down. It's fucking.
It's not your fault.
Fuck you, man.
You gotta do it in the Boston accent. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Fucking Duncan. It's not your fault.
How do you like them apples?
Yeah, that's right. I got a number. How do you like them apples? Oh, that's Brad, all your videos are going to start hitting, man.
Yeah, how could they not, dude? Brad's on fire. Shout out to Brad. Himbo. Again, Susan Sarandon, that was one. Like she shared the song that I did with Awkward. And I'll always be grateful of her typing my name out. But yeah, I thought for sure that How Could You Susan would have gotten her attention. But I also think, there are so many people that unironically blame her for all kinds of ludicrous stuff. I could totally see her seeing that song and being like, there's another one of these fucking pricks, and not realizing it was satire. Because I don't talk about wildfires until a good ways into the song.
This gamer? What's up, gamer? I know you were here. Being quiet. Creeping.
Yeah, I can't hold it against Susan Sarandon. So I love Susan Sarandon no matter what. So.
Oh. 75. She looks dynamite, but I don't know. I have had a thing about the Millionaire Leftist Club for a while, and they really piss me off, honestly. They are the big club that they don't want us playing in, and not just us, but a lot of people that they consider to be peons. Yep. And they worship at the feet of Susan as well as Steve Donziger and others. Yeah, and
Marianne.
It's all people who end up
the Marianne clan
going to Joe every time. Oh, and Democrats every time. You know, and begging for scraps. And oh yeah, by the way, they're all millionaires too. Yeah. How about that?
That's also true. All right. Yeah, this is obviously off of and then the Sky Slam shut, which it's sad to say that we're, you know, this far out from the events in East Palestine, and those people are still just, you know, left to their own devices. Just deal with your toxic air and toxic water, and, you know, best of luck to you. Yeah. What more can I say? Originally I wasn't going to have it be an album all about that for the most part, but it's just I couldn't write about anything else. One piece didn't do it. Two pieces didn't do it. Everything else I wrote that wasn't about that, still, it's hard not to have that imagery pop up again, or no matter what you're talking about, you can work it back over to this mass deregulation, be it railroads, be it child labor laws, just everything being aggressively wound backwards is disheartening, to say the least. This is the first piece I wrote about East Palestine. I think just maybe 2 or 3 days after the fact. This is called Supersite, Children of the Fuselage. 100,000 pounds of vinyl chloride burned into the air and in the water with your fluoride. Today we'll demonstrate the role that profit plays in cost-benefit analysis to find the worth of your lives. Mind you, we'll be grading on a curve that traces dead fish on the shoreline. Today the town of East Palestine will know the skies of wartime, wear the shoes of Palestine, and know the smell of war crimes. Their pets and livestock will be corpses for the war shrine. This is how you sanction all your farmland in the Fourth Reich. I'm honestly surprised that Pete addressed it in a fortnight. Praised the first responders, but ignored the looming morgue line. Like, focus on the cavalry, ignore that every horse died. Never mind there's not a single cricket, bird, or horsefly. It's just triclops in the triage tent who expedite the foride. Norfolk taking pages out the north side. Add a dash of NORAD, plant a row of soil mines, give them lots of black skies and water bright with oil shine, and you can propagate the kind of crop that Gates will normalize. So save your time and give up ever going back to normal life. Norfolk cut its cost, and now this nation pays the morbid price. Norfolk weighed the loss as purely human, so they rolled the dice, knowing Biden had their backs when workers tried to unionize, knowing all their lobbyists are sure they won't be scrutinized, and knowing that the tiny little fine they might be hit with is a part of doing business when your business is to euthanize. To salt the earth, liquidate the brutalized, drench the plains in acid rain, and blame it all on rural minds. Tell them that's just what they get for voting red, and old Team Blue will fall in step and shake their heads and disconnect from humankind. They're never looking up, their fingers point to you and I. Thanks to years of being trained to frame the little guy. They've seen the film enough to tell you where the blame should lie. The poorest family's EBT card was the mastermind. Those little houses won't concern the liberal passerby. They had their dose of NPR. The passive voice will cast aside your raspy breath and swollen eyes, your burning cough that won't subside, your cat that didn't last the night, that pall of death, that blackened sky, that harvest faced in 10 years' time that reaps the waste of wealthy crimes, a million-gallon deep decline through supersites and party lines, through hurried graves and leaded pipes, past poisoned slaves and slaughtered tribes, past forgotten treaties that we authored, then we compromised, past our moral fabric, ever brittle, gray, and fossilized, and past the mass of plastic trash that's just this side of ossified. And if you find one root that thrives, the living proof of fruitful vines, just hold it close. Take in the sight. Don't plant some host for parasites who in the name of corporate gains see all that murder justified. We're such a waste of insect paste and so much cheaper crucified. We're children of the fuselage, ghosts of all the food deprived, echoes of the working class whose crystal knocked was supersized. Out in Ohio, birds are drowning where they stand. Their eyes reflect a world event that devastates the land. And it's a tale of regulations disemboweled by prophet's hand, and their viscera that soaks like so much chloride in the sand. And that's Supersite.
Oh, I remember the first time I heard you play that, and I was just like, oh my God. Like, dude, how do you, I do. I marvel. I really do. And all of us do. We just,
thank you, dude. Seriously. Thank you.
Damn. Punch people in the face. I mean, I want to make every Norfolk Southern executive listen to that. Like, seriously, like force feed it. Like,
oh, I would too. I'd love
like
to have them all tied to a chair and make them listen to that. Yeah,
like
right.
Clockwork Orange, strap them down. The old it out.
Oh man.